Recruiting has changed so much. When I started, I know I sound like an old man. When I started 16 years ago in this industry, it wasn't like this. Well, it wasn't. It really wasn't. And it wasn't like the you walk uphill both ways in the snow type of thing. Jody absolutely knows what I'm talking about here. It's not, but it really has changed so much. And just over the past 2 years, something else has really changed in the industry. On this episode, we talk about LinkedIn recruiting. Completely different, but kind of the same as social media recruiting. It's weird, but it's changed, and it's changed in a good way. Atlas All Access starts now. Recruiter Jody Pokorny joins me today. I love your softball background, by the way.
Thank you.
Give me some background about yourself first. So how long you've been here, and maybe even why the softball background?
Okay, so I've been with Atlas since the end of January. Really loving the company, loving the culture, the change in job, the freedom and flexibility that I have is amazing. Working on building my desk just like everybody is, and trying to navigate this whole 2020 bizarre atmosphere that we've had, but
like we all are, right?
Like everybody is. Yep. But it is what it is, and we're gonna make it through. But yep. Softballs. So I've played softball pretty much my whole life. Played until I was about 3 months pregnant with my daughter, and she is now 11. And mom bias totally. She's kind of become a little rock star, and we're all in. So that's all we do. That's our life right now. So
if you had a boy, would he have played baseball then?
I'm gonna guess probably so. Probably maybe a little football too.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally Midwest thing. I get it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely. Okay. So I asked Jody to join us because she does a ton of recruiting on LinkedIn. And about 2 years ago, LinkedIn changed. And I don't know if it had anything to do with when it was purchased by Microsoft or any of that. If what happened, the algorithm changed, and all of a sudden it went from just like a business wasteland. And it really was. Like, it was a business wasteland for a while. And I think maybe even in some places, LinkedIn would admit to that as well, to being a vibrant community of business people talking to each other about everything, not only jobs, but how businesses run and what you're looking for. And with that came recruiting. Mm-hmm. So, and Jody does a really great job. If you're not familiar, if you haven't seen her profile on LinkedIn, there's a lot. We got a lot of Facebook recruiters here. I got some Snapchat recruiters. I've got some Instagram recruiters. I may be on the verge of a TikTok recruiter. Maybe. I don't know. But Jody does a great job on LinkedIn, and it is different. And so first, why? What drew you to LinkedIn?
I kind of, after talking to John in our office, mm-hmm. He kind of explained to me the benefit of being on LinkedIn and just the professionalism I think that's associated with it. And that's kind of really what drew me to it. I looked a little bit on Facebook, and it kind of sometimes can be very negative and kind of can take you down a rabbit hole.
Sometimes?
Sometimes. 99% of the time.
Okay.
So I really liked that aspect, that I knew, or I felt more comfortable in that, I could put things out there and kind of express myself and not feel like I was going to get attacked. So that's kind of why I chose to steer more that way.
Well, and one could argue that recruiting belongs on LinkedIn in the first place, because mm-hmm. It's not that recruiting ended up on Facebook because everybody was on Facebook. Right. Mm-hmm. And it was just a chicken or egg thing. Maybe this came first. Facebook came first. LinkedIn changed, things changed. And that's, if you're looking in a professional way for a job, you would probably go to LinkedIn first.
Yep, totally agree.
And so recruiting on LinkedIn has just become something of a different animal. Talk about some of maybe the conversations that you've had on LinkedIn, which maybe wouldn't exist on a different platform.
I feel like what I've had come back to me has just been much more cordial, much more professional, and more timely. Like if they're on LinkedIn, they're more apt, I think, to get their stuff back to me in a timely manner. Like they're very driven about getting things together and moving on to the next step. And it's really, I mean, had some great conversations, DMs, whatever you want to call them, on LinkedIn, just getting to know people. But yeah, it is definitely, there's a different tone to the conversation on LinkedIn as opposed to any other platform.
I think and I love Facebook. I have loved Facebook since it came out. I'm okay with the changes that they've made. It's an evolutionary piece for them. We just change with the times like they do or whatever. I get to know people on a personal level. LinkedIn gives you the ability to really understand, let's take all that away and understand what do you want from your career? And I think that's maybe where you've excelled and your message there is very, travel nursing, your career is nursing, travel nursing is your vehicle. No pun intended, kind of pun intended, right? To do so. And what do you want out of it? And I think you can learn the back end, you can learn the why later. It's almost a reverse of Facebook.
Yeah.
In a way, where you're understanding their professional side first, whereas maybe on Facebook, you understand the personal side first.
Yeah. And it's nice too, because LinkedIn gives me the opportunity to show a little bit of myself to, whether it be, I call them dumb mom jokes, express my creativity a little bit, but still remain professional and get my point across. So it's nice. And I've gotten some really good feedback from people not even in the industry, but just have seen what I've put out there. And they're like, hey, these are pretty creative. Right. And you should be seeing more and more feedback from that as you continue to do it.
Well, and it reminds me of some early days of Facebook where obviously on the opposite end, right? On the early days of Facebook where recruiters were connecting with travelers on that personal level and having those early conversations. So it reminds, it's a slow, long road like Facebook was in the beginning. Christy Birchler could tell you a lot about this. Atlas recruiter, Christy Birchler, for a number of years has been on Facebook. Like that was her thing. And in the beginning, it was a tough road to hoe. Like it wasn't easy for her to get there.
Yeah.
But now she's got there. And so now, now it's a thing. And so it will take time to build. I don't see a ton of recruiters in our industry. I see professional recruiters on LinkedIn all the time. They've always kind of been there. But I don't see a ton of our industry recruiters on there yet. So you're ahead of the time.
I try to always be first. If you're not first, you're last, right?
That's what Ricky Bobby would tell you.
Ricky Bobby.
Sure. That's right. Yes. So, okay. So give me as my last question here, is the LinkedIn pitch, and I think I know the answer to this already. The LinkedIn pitch is different than the Facebook pitch. Let's say a travel nurse would connect with you on LinkedIn. Like, how does that first conversation go from your end?
Just answering your question kind of in reverse. I think the Facebook is more money oriented and it seems to be more pay package driven, where it's a little bit more kind of a collaboration on LinkedIn about, okay, there's a little more give and take. Like it's always not just what do you have to give me? It's, the nurse finding out more about what Atlas has to offer, benefits, all those different types of things. And I'm trying to relay to them what types of things I can provide to them, and giving them maybe some more in-depth details about the company, about, what we have to offer. So it's just don't know any other way to explain it. Then there's just a different tone to the conversation.
A more professional tone.
For sure.
Maybe. Interesting.
For sure.
Okay. Or if you're a TikTok recruiter, it's more of a weird dance tone.
Yeah, not ever going to catch me doing that.
Again, there's a whole lot of different types of recruiters out there. There's a whole lot of different types of travelers out there. So
for sure.
You just you gravitate to where you're comfortable. So, and I can tell you that, if you are looking for a recruiter that loves softball.
Yes.
And dumb mom jokes.
Yep, for sure.
Here you go, right here. So, but can still have a very professional conversation about your career and then traveling as your vehicle for your career.
Absolutely.
So how can they find you? How does LinkedIn work with that? Is it just they just search you on LinkedIn? Is that right?
Yep, they can do that way. I have my very own special LinkedIn profile that's just LinkedIn Jody Pokorny. My email address, my phone number, I'm always putting that in there. But yeah, you can just type in Jody Pokorny and I should come up.
Jody.
Very good. Very good. I'm proud of you, Rich.
There we go. See, I'm learning, even though you started right when all of this garbage started and we only worked in the office together for a couple of months. So there we go. Right.
Very good.
Okay. So if you are looking for a recruiter that has that and you want to have that professional conversation first, maybe before you have the personal conversation, this is the place to go. LinkedIn, Jody Pokorny. So, Jody, thank you so much. This was a conversation. This is one I wanted to have for a while because LinkedIn has been very interesting to me, and I know you have jumped in feet first all the way on that.
I love doing it. I absolutely love it.
So, awesome. Well, hopefully, I will see you back in the office soon.
I know, right? Even if it's just hi, Rich.
Even part-time, that's fine. Okay. Even part-time. So
sounds good to me.
All right, Jody, thank you so much. You can find her on LinkedIn. Dolan will put all the information down here, including her email address and her phone number, too, if you just want to skip the whole LinkedIn part and just call her directly. So there you go.
Sounds great.
All right. We'll see you next week.
Bye.